While it may be cold outside, things are getting toasty warm at Global Voice Broadcasting. Heat up your winter nights with the hottest topics, the hottest celebrities, and today's best music. It's why Global Voice Broadcasting is becoming your 24/7 home for the music and talk you want right now. Discover your favorite shows and music anytime at globalvoicebroadcasting.com. Welcome to the world of Cabarabia, the world where Broadway, jazz, comedy, and pop share the spotlight and a 2-drink minimum. With your host, producer, director Clifford Bell, keeping the world safe for live performances in intimate settings on Global Voice Broadcasting.
And welcome back. And I'm still in the habit of saying Happy New Year, even though we're in the second year of 2015 now. This is my second show of the new year. Full disclosure, I always like to tell the truth on the air. We're filming a little bit previous to the actual air date for people's schedules, but I'm so very, very excited to have our guests in the studio with me today. If anybody watched the show last year around this time, I got on the ground floor of an exciting new project that was going on coming out of San Diego. They were putting together their very first San Diego Association of Cabaret and Clubs and putting together their very first Cabaret Awards ceremony. And that was very much spearheaded by this gentleman here in the studio with me today, Mr. Tim Moore. And we will tell you how that went. Hey, Tim. Welcome.
Hi, Clifford. Good to see you.
Last year, we had the great fortune of having Ray Jessel, the wonderful Ray Jessel, here with us today. And this year, we are having a gentleman in the tradition of Ray Jessel, which I'm going to say is a very high mantle to hand off to somebody, a very, very talented singer-songwriter that I have been hearing in my community for many years. You know, it's only very rarely that everybody in the community starts buzzing. You got to see this person. You got to see this person. They're so amazingly great. And I've been hearing that about this chap for quite a while now. And this is my first experience of actually doing something live with him. So I'm very excited to welcome to the studio David Luckey.
Hello, Clifford. Thank you for having me.
Hey, David
Good to hear you.
Luckey. Hi.
I hear you heard some buzz. That's good.
I have a lot.
Yes.
We're here today to talk about the second annual Cabaret Awards, San Diego Cabaret Awards. Gabe, could you hit us with that flyer? That's the first flyer generated for it. Very excited. It's going to be on January 26th of this year. If you're watching this in real time,
That
that's
picture
2 or 3 weeks.
That picture of me is praying to be part of this annual.
And you got it.
Captured.
God answered your prayer. We have another graphic here, I think, which Tim, you generated announcing your producing team. Oh, no, this is you, gents, first, just because this was promoting this show, Tim and David. There you are.
That ought to sell a few tickets.
Yeah, and then you've got the producing team. Tell us a little bit about who's helping you out with this.
In the upper left corner, you'll see Eileen Bowman. She's a wonderfully talented local actress. In fact, she's got quite a long resume in her own right. She is a co-director this year, helping us. Below her, that wonderful blonde spirit of a woman is Kristen Fogel. She's a local community theater producer and director and an actress and a singer. She's quite talented. A lot of fun, has a lot of connections, very enthusiastic and involved in philanthropical ventures. And this was right up her alley. To the right of her picture and below mine is Tokalee Baker. Tokalee is a cabaret performer as well, but she's got a long history of work in television, movies, as a scriptwriter, and the list goes on. Actually, she has had to move on. She has other commitments, and she's not able to fulfill her role with us going into the awards this year, so we're sorry to see her go. To the left of her, low left, is Kim Prendergast. She is an enthusiastic supporter of the performing arts. She has a daughter who's a terrifically talented actress and singer. She's been to my open mic cabaret at Hennessy's on occasion, and just is a great supporter. And she's helping us. What is she doing? She's going to put together one of those. Did they call it a step banner? One of those banners that you see at the Academy Awards, and she's going to put some gifts together for the performers, and she's helping doing a little fundraising. And lower right is Gabrielle Nelson. She is also a local community theater actress and singer, very enthusiastic about the San Diego Cabaret Awards and helping us go out and do a little bit of fundraising.
Excellent. Now, and speaking of fundraising, I know that in the middle of this year, I kind of got the ball rolling. I had an event here up in LA that intended to raise some money for you all.
Yes.
And that was, as far as I know, it was the first time that you kind of formalized how money would be received in this nonprofit venture. Tell us a little bit about that organization.
You're right. We were lucky to partner with the Actors Alliance of San Diego.
Yeah, very
They
cool.
are fiscally sponsoring us as a 501c3 not-for-profit. Yours was the first contribution
Yes.
to our association under that not-for-profit status, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. It was a big deal having that check deposited.
I have a great fondness for this project. Not only did we get rolling with it last year, I mean, it was a January program that
That's
we
right.
did last year. But I went to college in San Diego, and I love San Diego. I went to college at the University, United States
USIU.
USIU.
Right.
What's it even stand for anymore? I don't even remember. But at the time, it was one of the only two places in the country you could get a degree in musical theater.
Oh.
You could get music or theater, but
Well,
there was
never
no
together.
such thing as musical theater at the time. I'm 112 years old, clearly. But it was a really great program, and almost everybody in my graduating class went on to have Broadway careers and work in the musical theater. It was really, really good school at the time, a long time ago. So when you invited me to help promote it and then participate in it last year, it was really fun for me because I have really happy memories of coming up through the San Diego ranks. I loved it there.
Well, I'm glad you do, and you were a huge assist last year. I was
a bossy
honored.
queen. You saw you saw the best and the worst of me. I
Crack
just
that
sort
whip.
of took over. But
We needed you that way. Thank you very much.
but it was fun, and it was a fabulous evening, really fun, and you had great talent. We'll talk more about that. Let's back up before we get started with that. Tim, tell us about your interest, because you, I think, by your own description, you're a businessman from just the normal world without a particular show business background or anything, that just came to a love of this sort of performing, this world of cabaret, and has now dove in very heavily. So tell us a little bit about it.
I don't really know what you're looking for here, but I do love cabaret, and I hate to say that this is a hobby because I put more than hobby hours and effort
Right.
and thought and resources into it. I absolutely love this intimate and personal performing art form called cabaret. There just is not enough of it in San Diego, and from the time that I participated in cabaret workshops, and those cabaret workshops came to an end, I was starving for more of that wonderful satisfaction, that feeling I got from learning and performing in front of people and achieving on my own personal level. Whether people liked what I did or not is, of course, another thing, but I certainly enjoyed it and wanted more of it. And to the extent that when I would see others that enjoyed it, I got on this thought pattern of why not put together an association? Why not have a night of recognition?
I think you were
Focused
modeling
on
it on
cabaret.
what they have in New York. In New York, they have what they call MAC, the Manhattan Association of Cabaret and Clubs, which I think was
Well, I
an
did.
inspiration for you, right?
Well, yeah, that was the foundation for the initiative in San Diego and for the purpose and scope of the San Diego Association of Cabaret Clubs. And, boy, I don't know. Where do you want me to go with this? I started with my open mic at Hennessy's. There are a lot of talented folks that walk through the doors down there on a Monday night. And
what I think is interesting to the viewers in sort of a universal way is that you're not a person who came up in show business. You know,
Correct.
you haven't been pursuing show business for the majority of your life. You pretty much, I think you were dating somebody or knew somebody or whatever who invited you to a club, right?
That's how I was introduced to the people
Right.
that took me down the cabaret.
Right. And it became such an important thing in your life that you're really very devoted to it now.
It did, and I'm very
And you
glad
started
about it.
performing yourself.
In a quiet, limited basis,
Yeah.
and certainly not on the scale of a David Lucky or a Clifford Bell or a Ray Jessel or a Carrie Kelsey.
Tim has a lovely voice. He's being very modest right now. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I was going
have
to
heard
say,
him sing
you
before.
know,
It's a lovely voice.
I invite in when I decided to do that fundraiser thing for the awards earlier in the year. I invited David to come up to L.A. and sing at a show I was doing at Vitello's. I invited Tim to perform. And I wasn't 100% sure what I was going to get. You know, part of it was benevolent support, and part of
understand.
it was like, I hope he's good. And I kind of kept the invitation kind of controlled so that if he wasn't good, I could make it just kind of one or two
I've
songs.
gotten plenty of
and
those
sneak it
invitations, those
in.
hedged invitations.
Right.
Clouded in
But
mystery.
when
like,
we
well,
rehearsed, I was very happy to see he was very good. And not only did he
Thank
have
you.
a strong voice and a strong performance skills, but he had a really strong sensibility about what the medium is, which is everything. You know, how to choose the material in a way that it tells a story and reflects your own personal experience. And you really had a good handle on doing that. And the songs that you chose and how you did them was very good.
Thank you,
I
Clifford.
have a picture, actually, Gabe. You could show Tim in the here and now. There you are.
All right.
Vitello's.
That's
Sing
fantastic.
it, baby. Sing it.
Fantastic.
And so you've thrown yourself into the San Diego scene. Gabe, go ahead to the next picture called Fringe, I think is the name of it. Tell us a little bit about this.
My relationship with the Fringe Festival came way prior to formalizing any ideas around the San Diego Cabaret Awards and the association. I was very lucky when I started the open mic down in La Jolla at Hennessy's Tavern to run across, to hear about the Fringe Festival that was going to take place in 2013 in San Diego. I didn't know what the Fringe Festival was all about, but there was certainly a lot of hullabaloo around it. So I did a little bit of research, and I discovered what the origins of Fringe, and I got in touch with Kevin Patterson, the producer of Fringe in San Diego, and suggested that maybe cabaret had a place for his festival. So we got together. I told him my ideas. He liked them. In fact, he really liked the idea of cabaret and wholeheartedly embraced our participation in Fringe in 2013. And actually, if you recall, at last year's San Diego Cabaret Awards, Kevin Patterson was a recipient of recognition on that night for his good work on behalf of cabaret in San Diego. His good work actually would not be felt in its entirety until later in 2014, around the time of Fringe. Between the San Diego Cabaret Awards in January of 2014, in the middle of 2014, when Fringe was held the second time in San Diego, I introduced Ray Jessel to Kevin Patterson, and they collaborated, whereby Ray wrote a wonderful song to be used in promotion of the San Diego Fringe Festival.
Wonderful.
Yes.
And also, Robin got a big step up into that whole thing, right? With her Linda Ronstadt show with the orchestra.
That's
Wasn't
right.
that part of the Fringe
I-
Festival?
I think
Introduced
so.
Robin to
Robin Spangler.
the idea, yes, the Fringe Festival, and introduced Kevin to Robin, and
Right.
and that happened in a really good way. I hope Robin was happy with what happened in San Diego.
Yeah, I understand it was quite a big success for her singing with the orchestra of her Nelson Riddle show. So,
That sounds good.
yeah, you know, and I once again, you know, we should say about Ray, when we did the show last year, when Ray was here, he was here in January, and Ray has for a long time been a very, very beloved, cherished member of the cabaret community. I mean, Michael Feinstein has dubbed him a national treasure, and anybody that knows the worlds of singer-songwriters or the circle of people who follow the Great American Songbook or know the Cabaret Society kind of thing. Everybody has known Ray for a long time. But around summertime of this year, he found his way onto America's Got Talent became, for 4.5 minutes, became an international superstar. I mean, millions and millions and millions of hits for his funny song, She's Got a Penis, or What She's Got.
What She's Got.
What She's Got. And we all, we all
gave away the ending.
We all just laughed. We just smirked knowingly because we've all known how great Ray was for a long time. But the world caught up. The world caught up. So maybe next year at this time we'll be saying that about you, David Lucky.
Hey, maybe you probably won't see me in American Got Talent, but maybe in some other way. Never know. You never know.
Well, let me have Tim tell us a little bit more about who's going to be in the show. First of all, I have a fancy picture of you, Tim, from last year's program in your tux. There you go, looking nice. Last year we had it at the Comedy Store in La Jolla, right? Wasn't that where we were?
Yeah, we did. For lack of a budget and another place to have the show.
It was nice.
They did a wonderful job. They were a great crew to work with. I was very happy, and they were happy with us, too.
Yeah. So let's just run some headshots of the people that will be performing. First of all, we have Lise Garrett. And you, before you tell us about that she's one of the leading performers down in San Diego, I'm going to tell you, I know Lise Garrett from... I don't think it's indelicate to say like 20 plus years ago, but she was a very big deal in the LA theater scene here. There was a really famous production called Movie Star by the great Billy Barnes at, I believe it was the Westwood Playhouse, and Bob Mackey designed it, and Ray Agayan, who was Bob Mackey's partner, Agayan, produced it. And it was this fabulous, stylish show with all these amazing costumes and Billy Barnes music and really incredible performers. And Lee was one of the standout performers in that. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, Lise Garrett is, as you know, she's a fabulous singer. She's a fabulous actress. She's also the preeminent acting and singing coach in San Diego. She's done wonderful things down at Martini's above 4th, both personally and for her students. You're aware that she's an acting and singing coach.
Yes, indeed.
She focuses on youth. Much of her clientele is youth-based, and once a month, at least once a month, has a showcase for her youth singers down at Martini's above 4th. Those kids are going to be the next ones to carry the banner for Cabaret.
Well, she's fierce, that one. She's a fierce diva.
And last year, by the way, she was the winner of the only award given out down at the San Diego Cabaret Awards, the Schroeder Award, for her contribution to Cabaret.
And the Schroeder Award, of course, is named after Mr. Todd Schroeder.
Mr. Todd
a very
Schroeder.
beloved figure.
Absolutely.
Next, we have Eileen Bowman. You've mentioned her already, but do you want to tell us a little bit more about your connection with her?
I've known Eileen indirectly for some time. Our paths have crossed. We have a common friend who introduced me way back when, and she's just a huge personality and hugely loved by the San Diego community, whether for her work on stage or as a singer on stage at Martini's above 4th. She performs regularly with Lise Garrett, Danielle Forsgren.
Well, you know what? Let's just run the rest of these pictures. We're not going to. We don't need to describe everybody. Obviously, they're really strong musical talents that are down and recognized down in San Diego. David McBean.
A San Diego favorite and a cabaret performer.
And then next we have Danielle
Forsgren. And by the way, she's won an award through the Metropolitan Opera. She has an opera background.
Ah, cool. Jonathan Carent.
Jonathan Carent. He's been all over the country this year, and he's performed, I believe, at the Metropolitan Room as well as 54 Below.
And you said you got a big thumbs up from him, from Jim Caruso?
Yeah, he did. He sang at Jim Caruso's
Cast party.
I love Jim Caruso. So, Tom Andrew.
Tom Andrew is new to our team this year. He's co-directing with Eileen Bowman, and he's another local favorite. He started his cabaret career. An interest in Chicago, moved to Los Angeles and performed with. Oh, there are a list of folks that he gave me that he's performed with here in Los Angeles some years ago.
Next up, we have representing the Palm Springs contingent. We have Francesca Amari. And I have a happy association with Francesca. I directed one of her most successful shows. Actually, I co-directed with the Mount Rushmore of Cabaret. The credits of director are Andrea Marcovici, Shelley Markham, Shelley Goldstein, and me. Not in that order. But the four of us together put this act together. It's a tribute to Gilda Radner, and it is a perfect act. Francesca's such a great talent. And, you don't usually drag four personalities like that together to put something together, but it was such a labor of love. All of us had the greatest time, and it's a really wonderful show. Francesca's gotten a lot of touring life out of it and continues to, and she always gives a percentage of her proceeds to the Gilda clubs, which help with wellness centers across the country in Gilda Radner's name. So Francesca will be there again.
Can't wait to see her again.
And once again, we have the great Ray Jessel.
There he is.
There he is. And this year he comes to us as an international superstar.
Oh, I think he had that moniker anyway, but I'm really glad to have Ray back.
Yeah, that's so fun. And then also one of the headliners of this performance will be one Mr. David Lucky.
That's
Yes,
right.
sir.
Yay!
Hello, folks.
So now you,
I'm in
yes.
that pile
So
somewhere.
now we're here. So now have arrived at David Lucky. So David,
Yes, sir.
I was teasing you earlier because I was doing my research about you on your website, and it says David Lucky is from Beverly Hills. ...
Is that what it says?
It does.
This is the thing with Google, you know? You don't know what's up there.
So tell me about you. You're from
Apparently that was
Los
the most interesting
Angeles.
part of my bio. That's why they put it up top.
Well,
I'm from Los Angeles.
You
yes.
are a singer-songwriter, and I'm going to
Singer-songwriter.
show some clips in just a little bit,
Okay.
so I know how great you are.
Yeah.
And as I said, there's quite a lot of buzz about you. But tell me a little bit about where you've been and what you've been doing.
Yeah, I've been part of the scene for I guess for a bit. I've gone from like comedy side to other side to cabaret. And
did you used to do more stand-up?
well, I usually I started, and I still do it occasionally, where it's like a song with some like stand-up stuff mixed in. So I play
right.
like Comedy Store stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
And then I kind of fell in love with the idea of I always liked the intimacy of cabaret, and I used to go and Gardenia and got met some people through that.
Right.
And I just thought it was like just a better space, a better way to create something.
Right.
And I just, started to meet people like Andrea Marcovici and those people. And
Right.
I don't know, just kind of like it took hold.
Yeah.
And I love it. So I've been in New York and I played there and I just love that experience. So I've kind of been working mostly on that. You okay? Hold on, Tim. You all right?
It's good. Please don't die during the broadcast, Tim. That would be bad.
If you're going to die, wait 2 more seconds. I'm giving a speech here.
This is cold. She's got the better of me.
So,
Anyway,
and,
so I've
and
been
David,
around.
you have an album out.
Have an album out, Kill 'Em With Kindness, which
Great.
is kind of a moniker of mine for what it is. And I've been involved and it's been growing. I've been able to play with some good people and doing good shows and been recognized by some good people and some people have done my material. So it's been good. It's been good.
Right.
And I'm really happy and lucky to be part of stuff like this, like the San Diego thing, because
And
it's
you have not performed down in San Diego
I have
yet.
not performed down in San Diego yet.
So
there you
Tim
go.
is introducing you
He's
to a whole
introducing
new
me
audience,
to a whole new
hopefully.
part of the coast.
And if he doesn't die before the show's over, we should be okay.
I cannot wait to help.
So, where did you perform in New York?
I perform like Don't Tell Mamas, Metropolitan Room, stuff like that, and other little venues as well. But mainly those two, and it's been a good. It's been it's just it's interesting. It's been a good experience because it's just been growing well, and I lucky enough with some of the things I've done, I got that write up in the Huffington Post by a writer who's now become kind of a friend of mine, by John Steely, and
That's cool.
That was a wonderful.
Where did they see you?
Well, he saw me do a double show at the Gardenia when I was recording my album, and He actually had interviewed Maud Maggart once, and then he came to my show as a guest and just loved what I was doing and wanted to interview me and put me in,
Right.
give me some like press.
I guess we probably can tell the secret that you and Ms. Maggart are a couple, a romantic couple for many years now.
Yeah.
She's. I would think anybody who watches my show would probably be aware of Maud. She's a very talented young woman.
Yeah, one of the best.
Who is probably one of the favored names in the world of cabaret. One of the
leaders,
brightest stars. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. And you guys have been together for 5 years?
Yeah, for about 5-6 years. Yeah.
Yeah, great, cool. So let's show a clip. Let's show a video.
Here we go to the clip.
Yep.
Lincoln was shot at a play, and the world went on. Gandhi was shot in the light of day, and the world still went on. Same with JFK and MLK, even Lenin's dead and gone. Yet the world went on. The world went on. Hitler brought Europe to its knees, yet the world went on. We dropped a bomb on the Japanese, yet the world still went on. Oh, we sent tens of thousands of men to lose in Vietnam, yet the world went on. The world went on. Even when the world was slammed with meteors, wiping out all the dinosaurs, the Roman Empire rose and fell. Oh, the Egyptians did as well. But we know they're gone, 'cause the world went on. All these moments changed our history, yet the world went on. It's still a mystery to me that the world could just go on. Yet on some lazy afternoon, you can put your hand in mine, and the whole world stops. The whole world stops. Thank you very much.
Yay.
Wow, heavy
Well,
stuff,
David Lucky,
heavy stuff.
you've got a kind of a
Excellent.
now. One of the things I've heard about you is that you've got kind of a Randy Newman thing going on. So
Yeah,
there
I guess so.
Yes, you do.
That went-
The paramedics came and took Tim away.
Yeah, Tim is.
But
Tim
they've
is,
revived him and he's back now.
it's funny. We called the paramedics and they brought him a lollipop. I don't know if
and he seems fine.
some very
So,
special
we'll
lollipop.
figure the rest of it. So, gents, I'm going to take just a minute to do my little 1001 Cabarabian Nights. Just a little section of commercials for what's coming up. Actually, next week I'm so excited because we have Artie Butler. And I was just telling
Great Artie
David about Artie, and he has his own experiences of him.
yeah.
Artie is one of the leading, historically, one of the leading producers, arrangers in films and records. But he also is the composer, along with Phyllis Molinari, of "Here's to Life," which is one of the most exquisite songs ever written, certainly. And what
Well, Artie's a wonderful, wonderful man, and he was friends of my sister's husband, family friend, and so I got a chance to meet him, and he came to an early show of mine and was a supporter in what I was doing. So I've been to his studio a few times, and he's just a lovely guy, and his wealth of music knowledge and his wealth of his ear, it's incredible. Spending those, I think, like 2 or 3 afternoons over there in his home, beautiful home, is. I mean, if you go to his studio, just pictures and history, and him with Louis Armstrong, and him. Just the things he's part of is just unbelievable.
Yeah, he produced the album, the single "What a Wonderful World."
Yeah, What a Wonderful
Louis
World.
Armstrong,
He's just a giving guy,
the
very
legendary
giving.
Louis Armstrong recording. You know, it was funny. My guest yesterday was Corky Hale, who's married to Mike Stoller of Lieber and Stoller, and I was saying Artie's going to be on next week, and she reminded me, which now that I looked up his bio information, Lieber and Stoller discovered Artie. Artie was working in the sound booth as the button pusher in the studio at 19 years old in a Lieber and Stoller session, and they were having troubles with the pianist, and they said, this guy's not doing a good job, and Artie said, "Well, I play. Can I help?" And the guy who owned the studio was like, "Shut up! You're going to get me in trouble.
You're pushing buttons, kid. That's all you do."
And Mike Stoller's
We've all been there.
super nice, and he's like, "No, go see what you can do." And Artie, of course, is brilliant, and the rest is history.
Yeah,
They
it's
made him
amazing.
famous.
Wow. That's an incredible story.
Yeah,
It's always
so
like that when you're kind of push the button pusher, and you're
Yeah.
like, "I could do that," and there's always that boss who's like,
Right. So
Shut up.
Next, I'm
Gotta
also
make that
excited. A frequent guest here is like I hardly ever work with kids. I only in my whole career maybe 2 or 3 times have worked with kids, but I work currently now with a teenage girl who's really talented named Alex Spurlock, and she goes Alexandra Theodora Spurlock, and she goes to OSHA, the Orange County Performing Arts School, and they have this really cool program down there called Performing with the Pros, where they bring a Broadway professional in to do a concert with the kids. They audition a small group of kids that get to participate, and then they perform a concert with whoever the star is. And this year it's Liz Calloway, our brilliant Liz Calloway, and my Alex is going to be in it with her. So I'm so excited. It's January 30th and 31st. So y'all got to check that out because Liz is brilliant, and I'm so proud of my young Alex for being in it. Also, for anybody else who follows the show, my charity organization that Jackie Gibson and I have created called Jazz Del Corazon, we're starting to put together our next benefit, which will be at the end of February. So I'll tell you more about that next week. But there's a new Jazz Del Corazon on the horizon. And the last thing I want to promote is I'm in the final stages of recording a new album with Lauren White and the Quinn Johnson Trio. I love this so much. Quinn, as anybody who watches my show knows, is the longtime musical director for Steve Terrell. And also he is the person who plays the piano in the Claire Fisher Band, which won a Latin Jazz Grammy last year. And we're making a new album, and I have this little promo clip I put together while we've been recording. so I played that with the other day with Corky, and she's like, I can't hear her singing. I'm like, there's no vocal on it. She's a wonderful, wonderful singer, and I'm so excited for the album. But we were just, that's just something I filmed while we were in the recording studio. So nothing was ready to be put on yet. Anyway, so that's going to come out in April. Very excited. Keep an eye out for that. And now back to you, gents. So, Tim, tell me a little bit more about the cabaret scene in San Diego.
Yeah, quite a bit has happened actually over this last year. And I don't know if you're familiar with a gentleman by the name of Rob Appel. He is San Diego's leading theater critic. He is everything. He is San Diego's brain trust when it comes to information and connections in theater and the performing arts. Rob hosts the San Diego Bravo Awards once each year, and this year
is that theater?
It's in recognition. Yes, it's in recognition of excellence in performance. This year he added 2 new categories for the Bravo Awards for cabaret. One for best cabaret venue, and the other for best cabaret performer. Lee Scarrett, by the way, won for Best Cabaret Performer. And as you might guess, Martinis Above Fourth won the award in recognition for Best Cabaret Club.
Deservedly so. I've never been there, but I hear it's wonderful.
It is. And I was a presenter at the
Have
Bravo
you been,
Awards.
David?
It was quite
I've never
an
been to
honor.
Martinis on Fourth.
Yeah,
I've seen pictures.
It's great. Yeah, looks great.
Okay. Well, the object is to get you down there, and so you can see it firsthand from the stage looking out towards the audience. It's the idea. So, so we're getting a little bit of recognition. It was a big step to have Rob do that via the Bravo Awards, and we can't be more thankful for him for that. The San Diego Music Awards, by the way, is probably music's #1 event in San Diego. I've approached them, and hopefully they'll add a category for cabaret in this upcoming year. Let's see. I've done my best outside my career to
Just like to note, if you don't mind,
venues.
that Tim didn't cough once during that whole speech.
I know.
Just,
it's
I think it's
interesting how he
doing
can
it.
control his coughing when he's talking.
These
It's
special
only when
lollipops.
someone else is talking that he has.
No, of
trouble.
course not. No, Tim's great.
You guys are a bundle of laughs.
No, but it is great. One thing I will say, which is kind of a brilliant move, I don't even intend for that because the idea is brilliant, but to create excitement about cabaret in San Diego, it's always good to start with the awards because everyone likes the awards side. Everyone wants.
Yeah, actually, that's a good thing to talk about because I know that that there was kind of a controversy when you first announced that you wanted to do awards. That there were some people that were like, "Oh, that's a dangerous thing to start." Like maybe
That's
make
right.
it recognition,
That's right.
don't hand out. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, we're still at the recognition stage. I think, and those comments, those observations, those cautions were justified. I think our community needs to grow a bit, and the folks that review and comment on this performance style need some time to become accustomed to it and see more of it so that they can make better judgments. I think there are people better than myself that should take that over and will. I'm hoping next year we'll actually be able to have an awards. We'll have a San Diego Cabaret Awards.
I have mixed feelings about the whole idea of what awards are anyway. I'm not a big, I don't invest much meaning in the idea of awards. But, I think awards are very good, as David was just saying, because they're a promotional device. They're a reason to celebrate. They're a reason for people's names to be said out loud. There's a reason to put on a pretty dress.
Right. They fill out bios.
I always need a reason to put on a pretty dress. And, a reason to have
What's
a
Clifford wearing
gathering.
this year?
Something backless, I'm thinking.
Nice.
A reason to have a gathering, a reason to applaud each other. And, I think one can't get very serious about the merit reflection of it, because it's it's arbitrary. Why is this movie better than that movie? It's all politics. It's all money. It's all handshakes. It's all whatever. I don't think any of that means anything. But I think it's very good for a healthy community to be able to say, these are 10 great performers. Let's listen to them. Let's applaud them. This is the club that brought in the most outside people this year. Blah blah blah. You know what I mean? It's like it's a healthy thing.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it is. It's been a lot of fun too. The downside in putting together a night like this is if you're recognizing everyone. Of course, you have to have everyone on stage, and there's a longer line of people this year, and But Eileen has done a terrific job in shaving here and there, and hopefully that we won't run into the 3-hour. Wonderful show last year, though. For 3 hours, people were comfortable. It wasn't a big deal. Yeah. But she's been really on top of me and driving the fact home that this should be about a 2 hour and 15-minute show.
Yeah, that's a good way.
That's fantastic.
And we'll keep you comfortable while you're there, guys.
Good. There you go.
Let's see. I have another. Let's rerun that poster. So we're talking about the San Diego Cabaret Awards show, which is going to be January 26th at the Signet Theater in San Diego, and you can get tickets from Brown Paper tickets, right?
That's
Is that
right.
how you do it? And then there's a Facebook page for it. What's the Facebook page called?
It's on Facebook page. You'll have to look up the San Diego Cabaret Awards show, and you'll find
You'll be able to
reference
find it
on Facebook.
I do know you have one very, very exciting performer that will be making an appearance that evening. Look at her. All right.
Really?
I'm going to sing.
Fantastic, Leverett.
Yeah, I very rarely
We're
do
glad
that,
to
and
have
I
you
very
down.
rarely do it outside of my own little bailiwick of things I produce. But I was invited, so I'm going to do it.
I know how much you like to sing, and it was an honor. You were unbelievably helpful last year, and it's the very least I could do. And it makes total sense to have you come down and display your wares.
As it were.
That's right.
In a backless gown.
Oh, yeah, we already have that's going to drive some ticket sales up. Backless
And
gown.
then I wanted to give a shout out to your musical director. Tell us a little bit about him,
Mr. Justin Gray. Everybody in San Diego and musical theater knows Justin Gray. He's the one that is first called for auditions, to carry on auditions. He works at the Welk. He's been the musical director at the Lawrence Welk Theater for many years. He's musically directed thousands of shows at all the major theaters in San Diego. He does work with high schools, putting together scores all over the United States. He's just an incredible guy. He's got a lot of irons in the fire, and he's very good talent-wise.
Great. Looking forward.
Sounds fantastic.
So I have one more video I want to share of Mr. Lucky here. Beautiful song. Let's
This
watch.
is
Anything you want to say about it?
it's a very serious torch song, actually. But the intention of the song was to give hope and positive vibe
Right.
in terms of romantic endeavors.
It's interesting. I wanted to comment about this because I think by reputation and also what I've heard a lot about you is that your songs are funny. That a lot of your songs are funny,
Humorous, yeah.
and yet I'm choosing two songs that are more of the serious side.
Well,
but
the
they're
blue,
beautiful.
it just you can't hear the laughter because in the
Yeah.
audience, but it is supposed to be funny. But I mean, but it can be either way. But my face is very serious in it for some reason. And maybe it's because I was far away from the audience or the piano. Sometimes when you get that piano face going,
Right.
you're at a big piano, and all of a sudden you become like Mr. Piano Guy.
Right.
So that's my
Well,
my
it's
fault.
always good to have a big piano. For anybody who's being introduced to David for the first time, just know that a lot of his work is more of the upbeat, funny,
upbeat, funny,
comedy
yeah.
kind of a thing. But it's nice to hear these beautiful melodies as well. So here we go.
Alone again, thinking of what could have been. Searching for that strength to pull through. But right now, I ocean, blue like the moon, blue like the bonnet, blue like the lagoon, blue like the velvet, blue like the grass, blue like the states that vote for Democrats. And now I know why, oh, the sky is blue. Must have lost someone just like I lost you. Oh, oh. Now I'm blue like the cross. I'm blue like the jeans. I'm blue like the hair on female elderlies. Blue like the tooth. Blue like the plate special. Oh, blue like the dress worn by the devil. And now I know why Miles was only kind of blue. Must have lost someone just not quite like you. Oh. I remember much happier times. I'd walk by flowers, they'd bloom. I'd bake souffles, they'd rise. I used to see life in 3 dimensions. Now when I look through the glasses, the red side is missing. And I know, like Picasso, oh, this is just a phase. I know I am destined for more colorful days. But for now, there's nothing I can do except feel blue. Thank you very much.
Yay.
We'd end on a positive note tonight, huh?
Yeah,
Don't
I
feel
love
blue.
that. I see now watching it that it was funny, but I accepted it as a ballad. I thought it was beautiful.
Yeah, well, look,
what you gonna do?
what are you going to do, you know? I hope it's funny. You don't really, no, that's funny. Now that's comedy
funny.
right there.
I like the intern blue, like the interns blue.
Exactly.
I like that.
Yeah, you can go a lot of ways with that. I'm sure.
Well, gentlemen, this goes so quickly. We're done.
It went way too fast.
Can you imagine? It
But
felt
that's
the
good
blink
because
of
that
an
means we're
eye.
getting closer to January 26th. for
And
San
Tim
Diego.
hasn't died, which I'm very
Tim-
grateful for.
Tim made a full recovery, actually.
Thank God.
He's on a treadmill.
bounced
He's
back.
Yeah.
And we will reconvene in just a couple weeks in San Diego
That's right.
on January 26th. David, any last words? Anything you want to promote or
Just want to
say?
say I'm
or
glad to be
wave?
here. I'm working on some new stuff, but no, I'm glad to be part of this and looking forward to the show.
And you may be doing a new album
I'll
soon?
be doing. I'm going to be recording very soon, probably sometime in February. A
Excellent.
live new album with a bunch of new songs. I've been playing a lot, but I just haven't been recorded on the CD. So very excited
Well,
about it.
David, it's a very great pleasure to finally sit
It's a
and meet
pleasure
you and
to
talk
actually-
to you.
Not just in passing
after
at one
all
of those
the many
shows.
years. I'm a big fan of Maud. I think she's amazing, and
One of the
I've
best.
always heard such amazing things about you, and it's nice to be getting to know you a little bit.
I appreciate it,
We'll
Pepper.
see
Thank you for
in,
having me.
We'll see you in San Diego
That's
in a
right.
couple weeks.
In San Diego.
And Mr. Moore, final words.
Clifford, I just want to thank you for your friendship and your.
Gabe,
It's a good thing you're
join in.
friends.
That's right.
Thank you for your enthusiasm around this. San Diego is so much better off for it, and David, it's going to be a nice addition to have you come down. You represent a very different angle, slant on what people think of as cabaret, and I love the mix of Randy Newman and the Aesop's Fable.
Well,
He
he's
ends as an
straight, so right
Aesop's
there,
fable.
it's like
Well,
Right.
and you're a lot of fun.
praise.
You treat people well around you. Your music and your lyrics are just brilliant. I can't
thank you,
wait
Tim.
to have you with us.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, Tim. Thank you. Very excited. Thank you for all that you do to the world of cabaret. It's
right.
as a very long time veteran of it. You know, it would not go anywhere if it were not for the new people that take an interest in it and become so devoted and stir up the energy. So, we thank you for that. And help me please thank my landlords here at the Global Voice Broadcasting, Mr. Todd Murray and Mr. Gabe Harder.
All right,
Also, Gabe is the operations manager here day to day and my personal in-studio engineer. And I'd like to thank my co-producer, Andrew Apple, who's a big fan of yours, David Lucky. And my friend Mark Saltarelli, who does lots and lots of video stuff for me. I think that's it. Happy 2015, everybody,
All right.
and see you next week for Artie Butler.
Take care.
And so it seems that we have met before and laughed before and loved before, but who knows?